Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all students out there. Welcome back to online learning. I hope everyone is in good health and ready for our today's lesson. So for today's class, we are going to start a new topic in your English textbook, English download, Unit 7, the media. And we are going to cover on the reading and listening skills. Before we begin, let's go through the learning standards of our today's lesson. Reading 3.1.5 recognize independently the attitude or opinion of the writer in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Reading 3.1.2 understand specific details and information in the extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Listening 1.1.1 understand independently the main ideas in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. And listening 1.1.2 understand independently specific information and details in extended text on a wide range of familiar topics and some unfamiliar topics. Let's look at the introduction. The media. What is the meaning of the media? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, the media, which is a noun, means the internet, newspapers, magazines, television, etc. are considered as a group. So, they communicate news and information to a large number of people. We get the news from those medias. Let's start with the reading skill. Pre-reading activity. Which one of these materials do you read the most? Rank them 1 to 8, where 1 is the one you read most and 8 is the one you read least. Comics, emails, books, magazines, newspapers, poems, text messages, websites. Look at the next activity. Mass media refers to the newspapers, televisions, radio and so on that communicate news and information to us or to a large number of people. How have the following inventions affected mass media? So in this activity, we have to discuss how the printing press, the radio and the internet have affected mass media. And we have to think about what mass communication was like before each of these inventions became popular. So we are going to discuss this during the tutorial class. Let us watch this short video about the history of reading. After that, I want you to answer these questions. What should we save the world from? How we are going to save the world from? And do you agree with that? while reading activity. Students, do you follow the news? If you follow, why you follow the news? Or if you do not follow, why? You can use the ideas below and discuss as a class. It's good to be informed. News is sensationalized. The story might concern me personally. So these 3 ideas may give you the ideas of why you follow the news. Another 3 ideas, it makes me angry, it's depressing, it's biased, may give you the ideas of why you do not follow the news. For example, for me, maybe I follow the news of the number of cases of COVID-19 every day because I want to know how many cases in each day. So what about you? Let's discuss during the tutorial class. Next question. Which of these media do you think provides the best news coverage? Newspapers? Or is it radio, television, or the internet? For me, I would choose the internet provides the best news coverage. But we have to be selected because some might not correct or true. Okay, students, now let us look at the article, which the title is Print Media Doomed? What is the meaning of doomed, students? If you check in the Cambridge Dictionary, doomed means certain to fail, die, or be destroyed. Want to know more? Let's look at the article. And after that, you have to answer, why is the newspaper industry similar to the music industry?
Unit 7. Reading.
Is print media doomed? Is physical printed media dying? Will this generation of young people be the last to experience traditional books and newspapers? As digital media becomes increasingly popular, we look at current newspaper and book trends. The newspaper industry, like the music industry, has been hit hard by the internet. Just like pirated music, news is readily available for free online, so people are choosing not to pay for it. The internet can also provide news the second it happens. It is clear that the traditional print newspaper, which is still published once a day, is no longer a practical way to receive information. To keep their readers, most newspapers have now produced digital online versions. Plenty of news is available for free, but some famous, well-respected papers, like The Times, for example, only give the reader full access to the digital version if they pay a subscription. Compared to the cost of a print newspaper every day, a digital membership is more affordable. Not only that, but online readers get an interactive experience, since they can express their views by posting comments on articles that are of particular interest to them. The newspaper benefits from being online too. Money that was needed for materials such as ink and paper, warehouses, delivery vans, and so on, required by a daily print newspaper can be saved. An online newspaper can make more profits, and there is less wastage of resources. And what about books? If print newspapers are impractical compared to their digital versions, could e-books on tablets and e-readers replace print books? Here the situation is less clear because print books have some definite advantages over e-books. Firstly, the print on a page won't give you headaches or eye strain like a screen does. Also, you have to charge a device or you can't read at all. And what happens if your device is stolen or breaks? You could easily drop it or take it to the beach with you and get sand or seawater in it. Then you will be unable to read until you have it fixed or get a new one. That's something you'll never have to worry about with a normal book. Cost is also an issue. You have to purchase an often expensive digital device, and then the e-books you buy are only a little cheaper than the paper editions. But best of all, a print book is a physical thing, and people like holding books, turning the pages, collecting them, filling their shelves and bookcases with them. People prefer the overall experience of reading a real book because it is more relaxing than using an electronic device. We love curling up on the sofa on a wet weekend and getting lost in an amazing adventure, or lying under a beach umbrella on holiday with a good detective novel. No matter how easy the Kindle or the iPad are to use, these machines will never be as user-friendly as a proper book, which you just pick up and open. The charm of a real book might be hard for those who are gadget-savvy to understand, but it looks like printed books are a long way from dying.
Alright, so now, do you get the answer for the question of why is the newspaper industry similar to the music industry? Yes, very good. The answer is free content online means that people are not paying for it, so they can get the content easily. Alright, so now let's move to the next activity, activity 4 of the reading skill. Read the article again and choose the best answer, A, B, C or D. So for example, I give you the answer for the first one. Which of the following makes newspapers impractical? So they are not practical because the answer is A. They are no longer free online. Okay, I want you to look at the download, the tips when you answer the multiple choice questions. So you have to first try to eliminate. You get rid, you throw the answer options that are clearly wrong. Sometimes these are often options that include negative words such as no one, never, etc. So these are extreme and are usually incorrect with regards to the text. Look at question number 4. Which options are likely to be wrong? So let us look at question number 4. What does the writer suggest about print books? A. No one steals them. B. E-books will never replace them. C. They have a lot of positive points. And D. They have better prices than e-books. So looking at the options, the 4 options which carry the negative words or likely to be wrong. The option A and B, right? Because for option A, the use of the word no one, and for option B, the use of the word never. So options A and B are probably wrong. For activity 5, you have to find words in the article which mean the same as these definitions. The paragraph number is provided in brackets. So question 1 belonging to the present time in paragraph 1. So the answer is current. 2 suitable for a particular purpose in paragraph 2. 3 reasonably priced in paragraph 3. 4 involving the user to exchange information, also in paragraph 3. 5 real, able to see, touched, etc. The word is in paragraph 5. And last one, easy to use or understand, also in paragraph 5. So you have to find the words that mean the same as the definitions here. Let's move on to the post-reading activity. Look at the old newspaper headline in the photo. What might have happened or is about to happen? So you have to work with a partner to come up with an idea that we are going to discuss during the tutorial class. So if you look at the photo, you can see that a man is holding an old newspaper with the headline Earth Doomed. Why? What might have happened? Or what is going to happen to the Earth? So think we are going to discuss during the tutorial class. Okay students, let's move to the next activity, vocabulary. For vocabulary 1, activity 1, label the pictures with these words. So you have the internet, journal, magazine, newspaper, radio and television. So you have to label all the pictures with the words in the orange box. Okay, so let's see for the first one. The picture shows the internet. So you do the rest. Vocabulary 1, activity 2. The words in bold for each sentences are in the wrong places. Write them in the correct places. So what you need to do is you have to place the correct word in each sentence correctly. Okay, for example, the first one, my grandmother spends all her afternoons watching e-zines. I can't understand how she remembers who is related to whom. So e-zines is wrong. So you have to choose from 1 to 9 what is the correct word to replace. So you have website in question number 2, commercials in question number 3, soap operas in 4, scientific articles in 5, horoscope in 6, advertisement in 7, reviews in 8, and interview in question number 9. So what is the correct answer for question number 1? Yes, it is soap operas. Do you know what is the meaning of soap operas? Soap opera is a television or radio drama serial dealing typically with daily events in the lives of the same group of characters. And why is it soap? Do you know why it is being called soap instead of other words? Yes, okay, it is because in the United States, most of its major sponsors for many years were manufacturers of soap and detergents. So it makes sense, right? Vocabulary 1, activity 3. So for this one, you have to match the features of media into the words in bold with the forms of media in 1, the words in the orange box. And sometimes more than one answer is possible. For example, 1, the internet. So we will have horoscope. You can find your horoscope on the internet. Scientific articles, e-zine, reviews, website, and of course advertisement. How about magazine? We might have horoscope also in the magazine. Reviews, interview, and of course advertisement. So you do the rest for the newspaper, television, journal, and also the radio. For vocabulary 2, as usual, we will have prepositions, collocations and expressions, and also word formations. So let us look at prepositions first in activity 1. So for this activity, you have to complete the sentences below with about, between, for, in, of, on, over, or towards. Which sentence can you use two prepositions? Meaning that you have two options, right? So for this exercise, for this activity, you have to read the whole sentence first and then look carefully at the word before the preposition in order to make the correct choice. So now let us look for example. Question number 1. Excuse me, Mr. President, but would you like to comment the latest workers' strike? So what is the correct preposition? Yes, it is on. So you do the rest. Vocabulary 2, collocations and expressions. Complete the sentences with the correct form of these words. So you have be in the public eye, be on the big screen, go viral, have a lot of hits, make a name for yourself, and make the headlines. So, I give you example for the first question. Many stars don't like being watched all the time. They aren't keen on every minute of the day. Yes, they aren't keen on being in the public eye every minute of the day. Vocabulary 2, Activity 3, word formation. So you have to complete the table with the verb and the noun derived from the verb. Okay, so for example, 1. What is the verb for the noun publication? Yes, it is publish. So please do the rest. Number 2, you have subscribe for the verb. 3, the noun requirement. 4, the verb replace. 5, the noun is reception. And number 6, the noun is involvement. Vocabulary 2, Activity 4. Now, you have to complete the sentences below with some of the words from 3. So you have to decide whether you have to fill with the verb or noun for the gap of each sentence. For example, number 1, being a correspondent will blank you to travel and report from dangerous countries. So the answer is require. Require is a verb. Students, now let's move to another skill of today's lesson, which is listening skill. Activity 1. Look at the 3 pictures. We have picture A, B, and C. What is in picture A? It is a radio. Picture B, we have a computer. And picture C, we have the print newspaper. So what do they have in common? Students, what do they have in common? Yes, they are all sources of news and information. We can get the news and information easily from these 3 items: the radio, the computer, and also the print newspaper. Question number 2, what subject might the conversation be about? So I would think that the suggested topics of the conversation would be, for example, how the speakers heard about a news event, how they normally get their news, which news source they prefer, where a journalist is currently or was previously working or hopes to work? What do you think? Activity 2. Now, look at the following questions and listen to the conversation that goes with the pictures in Activity 1. Which questions could be asked after the conversation? Which pictures in Activity 1 answer each of those questions? Write A, B, C, or dash. Activity 3. Now listen again and answer the question that follows the conversation. Which picture in Activity 1 answers the question? Look at the tips in the download box. Although it's helpful to guess what the questions might be, you must listen very carefully to each one because it might not ask what you expect. It's easy to get the answer wrong by answering the question you thought would be asked rather than the question that was actually asked. So to prevent this, you really have to listen carefully for the question that is asked at the end. Instead, answer the question they thought or you thought would be asked.
Exercise 3.
Did you hear about that fire in the town centre yesterday? It's reported that it was started deliberately.
Really? It doesn't say that in today's newspaper report. But that's the problem with newspapers. They can't keep up with the very latest developments.
I heard it on the radio this morning, but even they didn't have the full details.
We'd better check online because that's the most up-to-date source of information.
Which news source does the woman think is unreliable?
Activity 4. You will hear 8 short conversations. After each conversation, a question is asked about what was heard. The answer choices are shown as pictures. Choose the picture A, B, or C, which answers the questions. Please remember that you have to think about how the pictures in each set are connected, what question might be asked, and to listen carefully for the actual question.
Exercise 4. 1.
I met Sarah Jane Lewis last night.
Who's she? No, don't tell me. I think she's an actress, isn't she?
You must be thinking of someone else. She's into current affairs. She worked as a journalist for the local newspaper for several years, but just recently she's been taken on as the evening newsreader on the regional TV station.
You're mingling with the stars, then.
What is the current job of the woman they're talking about? 2.
Hey, check your Facebook wall. I've just sent you a video.
Oh no, not another one about cats.
Well, not exactly, but close. This one's a singing dog. It's had so many hits that it's supposed to be the fastest video ever to go viral. It's really funny.
It can't possibly be as good as the one Jim sent me about the dancing parrot. That was amazing.
Which video has the man just sent the woman? 3.
Are you still watching that dreadful soap opera? Dinner's ready.
Yes, I am. And it's said to be the best new TV drama this year, according to the reviews.
Oh, come on. They can't be serious. There's no comparison between that and the crime drama we watched last night.
Actually, I preferred the horror series about vampires, but that's not on again until next week.
Which program did they watch yesterday? 4.
I don't often see you reading the newspaper. Something interesting?
My horoscope, actually. It says I'm going to be lucky in love this month, but I should be careful of anyone with a black car.
You realise those things are well known to be absolute rubbish, don't you?
Well, last month it said I'd receive some money, and I did, so I think I'll choose to believe it.
What is the woman hoping for this month? 5.
There's a picture of that TV presenter Kate Smith here. She's made the headlines because she's getting married again.
That's not Kate Smith, is it? Doesn't she have long blonde hair?
Well, actually, yes, she did. But she's had it cut quite short for her new show, and she's changed the colour too.
Well, I'm not keen on red. I think she'd look rather good with dark hair.
What does the TV presenter look like at the moment? 6.
That French actress is in the public eye a lot these days, isn't she? She was interviewed on The Culture Show on TV last night.
Yes, she's everywhere these days, ever since she made a name for herself in that successful film a couple of years ago.
Oh, is that how she became famous? I thought she was a model originally. I've seen her in so many clothing adverts in magazines.
No, she only started modelling after she got famous on the big screen.
How did the man think the actress's career had begun? 7.
Hey, you know that scientific article I wrote about my physics research?
The one you hoped would be published in a science journal?
Yes, that's the one. Well, the editor didn't like it apparently, and the university don't want it for their website either. But a TV science correspondent wants to interview me for their TV program instead.
That's even better! Congratulations!
Where had the woman hoped her research would be publicized? 8.
Do you know what time the sports report starts on the radio?
It's 7:30, isn't it? It's always on then, after the 7 o'clock news.
Well, that's what I thought, but the radio guide says it's on at 8:30.
That must be a mistake. I'm sure they haven't changed the time.
What time does the woman think the sports report will start?